We're rocking. We're rolling. This is the second episode of the day. Crash and Burn episode number 2. Crash and Burn year number 11. With the, we'd like to call him the godfather of Crash and Burn. He birthed it. The stretch marks are gone. He's recovered because it's been 11 years. Tim Slagle, Greg Coleman are here for the second episode talking about Crash and Burn this week. What's up, fellas?
Yo.
Hey.
So?
Last night was interesting. I came in thinking that I didn't have a lot, and I didn't even have that much.
That's not how it's supposed to go, Tim. You're out of anyone. You're the one that knew this was coming for the
yeah,
longest time.
Yeah, but the thing is, I've been doing it 11 years, and I'll probably do it 12. So I get, I can goof off once or twice. I mean, that's where my head's at right now. It's like, what's the matter? If I don't get anything written, I'll do it next year. So far I've done 10, and I think I did well on 9 of them. There was one year that the medicine did not work.
That's 90% though. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You're still getting into the Hall of Fame with them.
Yeah,
numbers.
I mean, that's an A.
Yeah.
That's an A. We're shooting for that with my kids in school. Let's get to 90%. Yeah.
Get to 90%. Right. I'm just like, just get there.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Like, you do the work. That's fine. Just show up.
Oh, you have no idea. Greg, how long have you known you were going to be doing this?
A month or two. Maybe,
two.
or before this airs.
Before Tuesday?
Yeah, before this airs. Yeah, but I have more notice than I did the last time I did it. I think it was somebody got sick, and I filled in for a night.
We're trying to figure out what
fun.
year that was. Do you remember who the other comics were that year?
I think it was 2019, wasn't it?
I don't. That's what I'm saying. I don't. Do you remember who the? If you remember who the other comics were, I can.
Adrian.
It was Adrian.
Yeah.
That was last year.
No, she was here last year. It had to have been somebody else.
Oh.
Well,
No, it could have been last.
Well, it might have been last year.
No, it was Andy Adrian last week, the year. So I think.
Yeah, Andy Erickson was on, too, right?
No, that was the year before then. So it was DeCosse.
Oh. You know what? I don't know.
Yeah,
but
fair enough.
That has nothing to do with it.
Well, okay, so we we're going to talk a lot about the process of doing the whole week, but when you just did it for one night, like, yeah. I mean, you showed up.
I'm gonna keep it real. That's kind of how most of my stuff gets written, anyways. Whether it's a writer show or just sometimes I have an idea and I'm just like, you know what? Let me try this shit out. Even if you're headlining. It's like where you're supposed to have your 45, have your 60. And I'm like, let's wing 20 of it. Let's see how it goes. So, yeah, no, it was fun.
You've always done that?
No. I've had it in me, like, with writing on stage. I think before what I found, like, I would write pen to paper. But that's just when it was kind of harder to find stage time. So I go up and kind of write it in my head, then write it down on paper, and then just kind of really be into it. And then I left the job that allowed me to write all day and no one check in on me, because that's what it was. I was a high school guidance counselor, and my principal was leaving. It wasn't even a full guidance counselor. It was just to the black kids. Like, they're like, yeah, just encourage the black kids. So I was like, all right, cool. I'll see y'all third period. So I would just sit in my office, and no one would. They'd just check and be like, oh, he's here. And so I was like, all right, cool. I'm just writing jokes. So I just type out jokes. But then life got busier. And then so I just started kind of just trying to write out on stage.
My fantasy football teams were never better than when I did morning radio.
Yeah.
I had so much time to scour rosters and like organize. I was the first one awake every morning, every day too. So I dominated fantasy sports for that time. I had so much time to concentrate. Now the complete opposite. I really got to make time for stuff like that. So this is the second one, the second Crash and Burn episode that I've recorded today that we'll be posting. And the first two participants, you won't be surprised to hear this, were shocked that this is how you write. That you come up on stage, Greg, with just like a couple words and there's nothing really written out.
Yeah.
I mean, it just works for so few people. Tim, have you ever done like that?
Yeah, that's kind of what I did this week.
Yeah.
I had more than just a couple words though, but pretty much I just had like a sentence at the top of each page. That's I'm a stage writer too. I've always done that, and it's when I try to write the whole bit out without talking it out first on stage, it comes out. It sounds like Jay Leno. Like, hey.
That's fantastic.
Boy, that Donald Trump's a crazy guy, huh?
Oh.
Did you see that hair?
Just a week ago.
Have you considered adding a Jay Leno night to Crash and Burn?
What do you mean? Everyone does Jay Leno bits?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Or do like your favorite celebrity a bit as them?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Wait a minute. No.
That's the Greg Coleman show. I came up with that. Shut up.
Yeah,
Stop
after,
it right there.
After his 12 or when he retires, then I'm like, hey, Lewis, you need another week? I got one.
Need another specialty week? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a specialty week. There's fucking Lenny Bruce is going to be out here and Carrot Top. I'm going to do Carrot Top or Smash Fruit. That's why I want
Gallagher,
Gallagher.
yeah. The Black Gallagher.
Black Gallagher, bitch. Yeah. That would be funny.
Tim, did you ever, speaking of that, props, did you ever used a prop on stage?
Oh God, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I've done magic tricks on stage.
How much magic did you do in a set? Like 2 minutes, 20 minutes?
Like one trick.
Okay.
Like one trick. No. Well, there were a couple times I brought someone up from the audience and to do
Cut
a
her
trick.
in half.
Yeah, something like that.
Didn't put her back together.
Yeah, she was just talking.
Yeah, that's how you deal with hecklers now. Make you disappear, cut in half. So I asked this to the other guys. Critique yourself. How do you think it went for you, Greg?
For myself, man, I was just happy that I was able to do it. Just because sometimes like my writing and material will come in waves, and sometimes the waves aren't there, whether it's just like, like it was just, I had a run of like really fun shows and stuff like that, but they weren't my shows. I was the opener or a guest, so it's like, oh, okay, you got 3,000 people here. Let me not just try this new one. Let me do the thing that works. So it's just playing my part. But now it's like, man, I'm chomping the bit. Like in my head, I have 3/4 or half of an album done, but now I'm like, there's a lot of these little thoughts that I'll think about and I'll have fun and kind of talk about, but I don't have the time, or I haven't had the time to get on to stage and work them out right away. So like it was funny, like even yesterday, like the bullet points, I was like, all right, cool, these 6 things. Cool, I got 6 things. This is cool. I got 6 things. And then I started just thinking and talking, and after we were talking yesterday in the writing room
after the show.
Yeah, after the show, it just kind of sparked more ideas of like, oh damn, I got 4 or 5 more ideas. So it's kind of like I want to work on the stuff that we did last night, but it's also I was like, I want to take this opportunity to try some of this newer stuff. It might not be connected to that, but so I like the opportunity of like no pressure, and it is a bit familiar because a lot of times like I will try to write on stage, but this is kind of best of both worlds. So you get to write on stage, but then you actually get to go back and write and bump up and tighten. And a process that normally takes 3-4 months, you can do that in 3 or 4 days.
Yeah. So I want to go back here. So you released 2 albums last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And now you just said you're how far into a new one?
I'm looking for a closer. I'm looking for like just one more, like a thud, like a bit, like not like just trying to find one more bit, so I can close that one out. And then like with some of the stuff here, I would like to start framing a little bit of the next one. And like I don't want to sound like a jerk, but it's like, man, I think there's a theme-ish kind of, because it's like, you can just write jokes, but that's not like I don't have the Mitch Hedberg gift of just writing jokes.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, here goes the jokes. But no, I don't know. It's fun. It's I don't know. It's fun. 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 Like, I feel like this is just where you get to be the artist that's in you, and however I present it, they can roll with it or not. And I like that people like to see it because, you know, some people, they'll come back and, like, even if it's this show or not, they'll be like, yo, I heard that joke was like a little line, and then we came back, and then, dang, like, you created a whole world around it. Like, that's how, like,
Robert Burrell is one that stands out for me where I recognized stuff he did here and then later on made it to his act. Really good jokes.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's the thing. I just feel like it was the right time because it was like, all right, I got done all those shows where it was like, all right, just hit the marks. And now it's like, all right, cool. This is fun for me. Like, I've been excited about writing jokes again instead of just kind of, like, dreading, like, I have nothing, like, thinking that you don't have nothing. It's like, no, you haven't dedicated the time to it again.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think this is a good week to spark some ideas and kind of, you know, create some new habits.
Any nerves going into last night, the first night?
I mean, not. I mean, there's always like nerves when you go up, but it's kind of unfair just because I feel very comfortable here, and you know, it's my home club, so it's like, all right, yeah, man, let's go. Like, let's see how it's gonna go. But then it did come up where I was like, all right, where I'm at, 14 minutes. And so I was like, okay, I think I can figure this out. I can do 6 minutes. But yeah, like, it's not a bad nerves or nervous energy. It's not like a energy that I wouldn't want anyone else to have. It's like, yeah, it was an excitement, you know. So
I've always, watching you on stage, I've always felt like you do a really good job of, like, I've seen, how do I say this? I've seen you do some crazy long pauses on stage, but it works. And I think that's just like how comfortable you are.
Yeah, it's a war tactic. I mean, some of it is like there's one bit I know for sure where it makes a lot of people nervous. Yeah, I know that one. I did that joke once, and Chad Daniels was there, and it was so funny because after I got off stage, and he was going up next and was like waited, and he was like, you had me so fucking nervous. I had no idea what was going on. What the fuck? And it was just, I was like, yeah, man, you like that? Because it's just like I'll lean into what I feel like I think is sometimes my strong suit or whatever, and it's just different. Like, that's a different way to start a set, and pauses. Yeah, I don't know. And also, like, no, I'm going to tell you the truth. Where it actually really, really came from, I had a history of concussions. And, yeah, I got 7 on record, 11 I know about. And every once in a while, I'd have these kind of, like, brain resets where, like, I would feel, like, a pulsation. So instead of going to the doctor, I was just like, let me get on stage. But, like, I would feel it, and sometimes I would try to push through it, and it would last longer. So when I realized, like, I'd start feeling these little aftermaths, God, who told me to do this? Daryl Lennox once told me, because once I started, I was super, super fast and blah, 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 blah. He's like, yo, man, just go touch the wall. Go touch the wall. It'll slow you down. I was like, well, what about the beat? He's like, don't worry about the people. Like, they're already here. They paid. Touch the wall. And then that made me slow down, and then that made me get comfortable with, like, yo, you don't have to rapid fire. So wow. Yeah, man, I don't know. It's fun. I don't think too many people do it all the time. So I kind of feel like,
yeah,
you know, it's just got to be at the right moment too sometimes. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I don't think it's like a super calculated thing. I think it's just like, all right, cool. Let me slow down and let me figure out where I want to go.
Wow. How many concussions have you had, Tim Slagle?
I don't know.
That's a lot.
I've had so many I can't remember.
It's a lot or a little.
Wow. I just therapy a couple weeks ago. I was complaining about having like short-term memory loss, and my therapist, first thing he asked me, "Do you have history of concussions?"
Mm-hmm.
I remember getting my bell rung a few times. Certainly not as many you said. Holy crap.
Yeah, but I was lucky with mine because they were not like those super crazy, like you need 6 months off. It was just like, all right, give me your helmet. You're not playing the rest of the game. Don't run this week, and then next week you're back out there.
Damn.
But yeah, those are getting further and further away. But when I was starting comedy, I was still, very active and, playing basketball and kind of rougher football leagues and stuff like that. So,
Damn, man.
Every once in a while you'll catch one and be like, I can't do this. I got to protect this thing.
Wow. Yikes. Tim, how do you think you did?
Kind of important.
Yeah, a little
yeah,
bit.
right?
A little bit.
Uh-huh.
I was like, I'm 28. I can't. I should not be icing my knees.
Did anyone suggest
Just 'cause.
wearing a helmet every time you leave the house?
Huh? Yeah. No, it was. Yeah, I just got to the point where I was like, I'm gonna start wearing a helmet because I have a kid. But before that, I was just like, nah, man, just ride. Like, it would force me to be aware, like, because. Like, yo, if I'm out here kind of raw dogging it, you know what I mean? You're definitely going to want to smell the streets before you go in. So that's how I look at it.
Wow. Wow. Tim, how do you think you did picking your cast this year? Let's critique them after night one. No, I'm kidding. But you happy with everything?
Yeah, I'm very happy. I think it went really well. Got 4 really different perspectives, and that's what's always important. Because when we sit down and do the notes after the show, we've all got different ways of approaching the same subject. So if you've got people that are too similar, if you had like Greg said, 3 Mitch Hedbergs, it's like okay, we're just coming up with crazy stuff.
Yeah.
The crazy ideas. We're not so some people are more focused on the line. Some people are more, expand on that thought. So,
Greg, how often do you, when you're working a week like at Acme or another club, how often do you watch the other comics perform?
I'd say, I don't know, probably a couple times. Like I'll pop in and want to see what's going on. Yeah, and then you'll go check once or twice to see if you like them. And then be like, all right, cool, yeah, that's cool. And then if you're like, oh fuck, I really like them, I need to not watch this right now, and just focus on what I gotta do. Like it's just different energies, different clubs, different stages. Sometimes it's just like, all right, I just kind of want to be in my own zone and be in my head. But it's never one of those like, oh, I don't watch other comics. Like I hear comics say that.
Yeah, I hear it too.
And I feel like some of it, they're trying to make it like a point of brass of like, yo, I don't even watch comedy. Like, it's not even.
Maybe.
It's like, yeah, but like you kind of do, like you pick up on it, but also it's like, some people you get like, they're busy.
I don't watch comedy, and it's not a sense of pride or anything like that for me. For me, it's I've always had this fear of hearing someone do a line and forgetting I heard it, and then thinking I wrote it a couple months later. And the older I get,
the harder.
The more I am prone to forget that I heard it.
Oh, yeah.
So,
have you ever been caught in that, Greg? Accidentally using somebody like you heard, like not stealing. I'm not accusing you of stealing something. Maybe like, oh boy, that.
No,
really...
but I'll say a couple motherfuckers stole my shit.
Here we go.
There it is.
Here we go.
Right there, and I can go to it. Fucking Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, freaking everybody. But I do have. There's a couple of them where I was like, yo, fam, and like other people have called me. They're like, yo, that's like, isn't that your bit? That's your bit. I'm like, no, man, it's like parallel thinking, and also these are my Mount Rushmores. So, like, how I process stuff, like, I learned stand-up, like, my connection to stand-up through these guys. So, it would be like, if I see a situation or a news story, you'd be like, oh, what would Chris Rock think about that? Oh, God, okay, so, I can do that. But there's still been a couple times where people's like, yo, fam, that shit sounds like yours. And then, wasn't the headliner of that show their opener, and this one, blah, blah, blah. So, I was like, I tried not to get into it. It's nothing you can do. There's billions of people on this earth and on this planet. And, for the type of comedy where I feel like is like whatever, lifestyle reality, just talking about life, we're going to have a whole bunch of similar experiences.
Just in case, send them a bill next time.
Yeah, I'll see how that works out. Like, I could punch that up.
I got strong feelings towards your really good joke there. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't. But also, like you said, like I don't watch as much stand-up and stuff like that as I used to.
I just saw a headline this morning that some YouTuber is accusing Saturday Night Live of ripping off one of their ideas. But already the season premiere was just the Saturday already.
It's one. And see, here goes also the thing, too. Sometimes there can be lines that can be, like, similar or damn near the same because you're like, all right, well, let me think about this line. How would I say that? That makes sense.
It occurs to me, though, that with the internet, theft of comedy is much easier.
Much easier to prove as well, though, that somebody stole from you.
Yeah, but it's also so hard, though, too, because it's like there's so much content out there. And sometimes, like, we think, oh, you've had to hear it. You don't. Even sometimes I'll come back here and be like, oh, I want to tell this joke. I know someone's probably heard it. I've said it here before. And they're like, yeah, man, there's 2 million people in this area. Yeah. You can go tell it. Guess what? You can say it.
Yeah, they probably turned over. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. At this point right now, it's nothing that I concentrate on too much. Like, if someone brings it to my attention, I'll be like, oh, all right, well, yeah, cool. I'll see what I can do about it or switch it up or change it. But also, this is an open mic, man. Like, yeah, I'm sorry I didn't watch that obscure podcast or special on the thing. But
do you care about the order that you're going up here this week? I know it switches. That's part of the deals. You guys kind of alternate each night. Do you care about that?
Nah, not really, because it's just a way for me to just kind of like stay loose and just be like, all right, man, F it, whenever it goes, because I kind of feel like, especially when I'm trying to make something new, most of my work is going to come here on the stage part. Sure. So, like, I'll feel like if like I'm concentrating, all right, I got to go first, or I got to go second, or I got to go third, I have more time to think about all the things you should think about, your material. But it's kind of like I do and I don't want to think about it. I want to have it on my head. I want to have it fresh. But also there's times when, like, I got in yesterday, he's like, oh, you're going first. All right, cool. You know what? Because that gave me 20 minutes. All right, cool. I got 20 minutes to go back there, 15 to watch this set, 5 to go to the bathroom, get a drink, go get ready, what I got to do. And just, like, I like kind of being in the moment instead of sitting here and preparing and thinking, like, oh, I got to go third, I got to go fourth. Like, because it's the home club. Like, granted, if I'm at another club and I'm 8th and it's a 12 o'clock show, yeah, it's like, oh, yeah, I want to go home. But for here, yeah, I'm going to be here anyway. So it's like, let's go.
Sure. Tim, we need to talk about the fact that we talked about it last time you were here, recording it.
Yeah.
Your new special.
It dropped this week.
Boom, boom.
And
less than 24 hours it's been out there.
It popped up on my YouTube homepage today.
Nice.
It was right there. I was like, ooh, algorithm, I see you.
Nice. Well, congratulations on having that out now.
It's on YouTube. It's called Cancel This. And if you just Google Cancel This Acme, it'll come up. It'll be the first thing in the search. Interestingly, I don't use Google. I use DuckDuckGo, which is actually Bing without the data collection.
Okay.
And then last night, because I was doing radio this morning, I wanted to be able to say how to find it easily. So I tried the Cancel This Acme on
and it worked.
DuckDuckGo. Yeah, and it came up first on the search. I go, oh, well, I'll just mention that on the radio tomorrow.
Nice.
And this afternoon, I checked it again. It doesn't work anymore.
Oh!
They canceled it.
Exactly.
That's what happened. So technically, your album's
like I
working.
got my wish.
Hey, wow. You got what you asked for. I'm going to make an album called Make This Shit Go Viral.
Yeah. Yeah, is it that
Platinum
easy?
this.
That's all you have to do?
It still pops up. It still pops up on Google. So if you Google, and I did say Google on the radio, even though I DuckDuckGo. But yeah, if you go to Bing or use Bing or DuckDuckGo and say Cancel This Acme.
Grey Duck Go in Minnesota.
That's right. That's right.
Goose Go.
It's what you get on DuckDuckGo, you get, or Bing, you get the first thing that comes up is canceling an order from Acme or something like that.
Oh.
So it's like so if you're if you're a coyote.
Well, I hit play on it already, Tim. I watched already half of it.
Wow.
I ran out of time this morning prepping for this, but I tried to watch as much as I could. And a little Lewis Lee appearance at the beginning of the of the special backstage, or not backstage, behind the bar. Lewis Lee working. So if people, what do you call that? An Easter egg. There's a Lewis Lee Easter egg.
Lewis Lee. It is. He's
And it's also a plea that for employees, because the owner has to work the bar.
Is there still time to high?
We don't see the Wilfs coming down and playing tight end on third down. You know what I mean? All right, let me get in there real quick. Toss sweep right. I'm like, he used to be in the box.
They're not helping me with my beer sales on Sunday, carrying my tub out. Yeah, maybe you slide in a help wanted at the end of the special. By the way, if you got it this far, Acme's looking for a couple cooks or something, right? Yeah. No, well, congratulations.
Thanks.
Congratulations. It must feel nice to get that out there. Where are you? And like Greg was saying, he's working towards another album. Have you been working enough that you're working on a new one?
No. No. It's I've been having a hard time getting my butt out for open mic since the gas got so expensive. It just when it was around $2 a gallon, it was like, oh yeah, I'll drive several hours to do 5 minutes.
Oh, I suppose.
And it's now it's like I don't want.
Where do you live? I thought you lived in Chicago.
Yeah, I do.
You live outside of Chicago?
I live outside Chicago. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's
Yeah, that makes sense.
He lives in I say Chicago because people know Chicago.
Aurora?
Yeah. No. But I don't want
well,
to
we don't. Yeah, you don't gotta say it. There might be ops out there.
Yeah, you never know.
Not the city. Just give us the street and numbers of the address.
And the last four of your social.
Yeah, and blood type, please. Absolutely, blood type, please. I'm going to completely change directions here, and I want to ask you guys something. Aaron Judge hit the record-breaking home run the other night, number 62.
Is it?
AL record. Greg already has an opinion. He's only going to share about it.
Oh, you said AL record. Okay.
Yeah, AL record.
Okay. Thanks for clarifying.
Record. American League record. Yeah, beat Roger Maris, right? There's, of course, an asterisk about the others, Barry Bonds having the single season.
Yeah, there's no way Aaron Judge's on drugs.
I'm
sorry.
Do you even know who Aaron Judge is, Tim Slagle?
No idea.
No. He's the home run champ in baseball.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I figured that from the lead-in.
When he hit like his 50th or whatever, I went on Facebook. I never troll people, but I did this. I went on a bunch of these posts and said, "This can't be real. Aaron Judge was 5'2" when he was 17." And people were like, "That's wrong. Prove it." And I just left it blank.
It's so fun to troll sports people.
It really is. But what I want to ask both of you, you don't need to know anything about sports, Tim, to have an answer for this. So this is a record-breaking home run ball he hit the other night. And a guy in the outfield catches it. Yeah. He's already been offered. Yeah. They're saying $2 or $3 million for this ball. He doesn't know what he's going to do with it. You could be a guy and just go like. Sometimes people are just like, I think Aaron Judge deserves the ball. He hit it. It should go to his family. He can decide. And then others are like, "I'll just give me like a
Yeah, if he wanted the ball, he should have caught it.
Right?
Others will like try to
should have hit it out the fucking park. That's the whole point. That's the whole point.
So what I'm getting at is how greedy would each of you be? What would you trade that ball for?
So no, I would not trade it. It would be a transaction. Yeah, because listen, when you're him. Aaron Judge, like, it means something now, but he's got a lot of somethings. Mm-hmm. Like, look at his contract. You don't need this ball. Like, you can't buy whatever the highest bidder is, I'm selling it. I'm telling you, I have an uncle who played who's had a World Series ring. It's been at my family's house, and it's been in a box. And like we found it, never once in 25 years. He's like, "Hey man, where's that World Series ring?" You don't, because he's rich and he's got other shit to do, like to play golf. They don't need that ball. Whoever that dude is, sell that shit. Sell it, and resell it. Matter of fact, sell the fake ball and then sell the real ball again. And then you can buy out the lawsuit from the fake ball that you sold. Sell that shit, man, because there's nothing in his life that he has that he can call great value of, like that's something that's sentimental and awesome for him, like his home run derby. If Jug got it, like he wouldn't give a fuck. He's like, "Who's this dude?" Yeah, no, like, or just give it back to him.
I've got a question since you brought it up. You probably need to answer this. How do you know that it's the ball?
Well, there's cameras there.
Well, no.
No, they mark them. So once he gets to a certain point,
they switch him. They put a special ball in when he's at bat.
When he's at bat.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
It didn't used to be like that years ago, but now I think it's like a hologram, or they put something on the ball.
And see, that's the whole point, because they want to know the super value, because it's going to be sold. Like, don't think it's just, because we can be able to find the ball. No, it's authenticated. Go sell that shit. Go make your money.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's how I feel. Like, yeah, screw that dude.
Well, that's got to be kind of weird as a pitcher when they go, hold it. You got to use this ball.
Yeah.
You're like, no, he ain't. No, he ain't. What are you saying?
Yeah, right.
He could.
You saying this isn't going to be a strikeout?
Here, just in case. A little wink. Yeah. No, that's great. Yeah, no kidding. I never thought of it that way. Yeah, the pitcher's like,
what would you do? Would you keep it? Would you give it back to him, or would you sell it? Like, for the love of, because it's America's game. Or
Why
America's
would you give it back to him? How much does he make a year?
I'm poor, so I would absolutely try to get as much money as possible.
I would sell it and be like, yo, let's have dinner together. You can look at it while we're at dinner, take a picture with it, and then give me that money, baby.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's interesting. In the past, there's people that really want these historic baseballs will buy out like the whole. It hasn't happened recently, but they used to buy out like whole sections of the outfield. Like, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get the ball because no one else is gonna sit there. And
then one little kid just walks by and just grabs it. And he's, dude, you can't. You're not gonna beat a fast fifth grader. Like, these kids agile.
Kind of like spending more than $1 on the lotto, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Right. You're like, what if I buy all the tickets? Then I'm guaranteed to win, but you're gonna lose.
But then you might have to split it with somebody.
Right. So. That's the same thing with like those, pull tabs when people go and try to buy out the whole box.
It's somebody actually I saw they did the math, and to buy all the lotto tickets, you would essentially have to get a lotto terminal. And you'd have to run that have someone running that 24 hours a day.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, 7 days a week.
Did you find that out on DuckDuckGo.com? I love that. I'm going to try that shit tonight. Wait, who are you hiding your information from? Who's out there?
He's not going to answer.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Who are you hiding information from?
How did you find out about Go Duck?
DuckDuckGo?
Yeah, DuckDuckGo.
I don't know.
Just came across?
Yeah, they had an ad campaign. And
they were advertising a ton a year or so ago.
Yeah, a year or so ago. And they say, hey, your data, everyone's collecting your data, and we don't do that. Well, yeah, they do, but they don't keep a record of your search history. But it doesn't matter because AT&T, who my internet, they got a record of my search history. They're selling that. It's
so for your search history, say I somehow caught your search history. Now, would you want it back, or could I sell it? Like that. You know what I mean? It's your record. This is the highest amount of searches.
I don't mark my search history, so you're going to have to authenticate it.
Oh, that's fantastic. That is fantastic. One final question for you guys, and everybody can hit the road here. How much material, Greg, do you think? Here's how I ask them. How much material do you wish you'll be leaving with on Saturday after the Late Show?
Do I wish that I'll be leaving with?
Yes. If you started with the goal is 20. You started with nothing. How much you think you're going to leave with?
Okay. There's a realistic answer, and then there's a hopeful answer. Like a realistic, it would be like, man, I would love to have like a stripped down, like tight 12 to 15 of like, oh, you can keep this. This is tight. But then there's another piece of me that's also just been kind of like, fuck, like even this lotto stuff. I was like, man, I had thought about lotto too. I had a joke I've never told about like buying lotto tickets and this or that. Like we were talking about something yesterday. The what was it? And I told you, but either or, keep getting flooded in a small piece. And he's like, all right, this 12 minutes or a skeleton for the
next album.
Yeah.
For the next album. So with either one of those, I'll be happy. And I'm just happy that I'm forced and being pushed to try new material. And I feel like I'm kind of at the age and point now where it's like, yo, I want it to matter. I want to leave with something. So it's either 12 minutes of really, really tight. Let me see if I can get this on TV somewhere, or it'll be a good accomplice to the album I want to make, or the next one. Like, I got a base and somewhere to work for the next, few months.
I bring this up because it's amazing, is that David Crow left with a one-man show when he did it. He left with that got rave reviews at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival about a year later. So
yeah.
So do that, or you failed.
Yeah, I got it.
So he didn't leave with
I got
just
a passport.
skeleton.
I can go. Yeah. Well, by the time, but the whole thing, or did he come up with the bass?
No, the whole thing. He stayed. He did last show Friday and last show Saturday, so he could do the 45 he wrote in that week.
Oh, okay. All right, fine then, David Crow. I see you. I'm coming after you, David Crow, with that beautiful curly hair of yours and that nice goatee. Coming for you, David.
Have you ever thought about? Have I asked this before? Have you ever thought about doing like not necessarily a best
play?
of?
Have you thought about doing a play?
Yeah, I've thought. Well, the nice thing about doing a play versus comedy is when you get like a real moment where the whole room just goes silent in a play, that's a dramatic moment. That's you've got the audience right there. When you get that in comedy, you're bombing. So it's really nice to be able to use those moments of silence that I find often in my act.
It happens.
I've thought of it. One year for Crash and Burn, I actually did a bit that I thought would be a piece in a one-man show, and that I never finished.
It never finished. Well, I encourage. Last night was really good. I was at the show. I left I was smiling throughout the laughing, smiling. Like I came home.
A lot of people smiling last night.
Yeah, it was.
A lot of
Even
smilers.
that one weird ass girl, or I'm sorry, weird. She paid her money, but I was trying to dive into why she was upset. She was like, because he said Biden.
Oh yes.
And then
Oh yeah, it was weird to me because she goes. She
wasn't on either
side. I don't like. Well, no, she pretended she wasn't. She goes. I don't like political jokes. And you went. Really? You don't like political jokes unless they're about Trump.
Yeah, well then you
classic. So classic. Yeah, so classic. I don't like political unless they're about a guy that I don't like. Then let her rip.
So when I asked you before and you said you don't know. All right. But, yeah,
so classic. That was,
it was fun, man.
That was a good moment.
It was cool. I feel like people really enjoyed themselves, man. It's fun to be able to do this and be this vulnerable. And everybody be in on it.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing or not the one thing, but something I really appreciate about the show and this audience and this club, and just the curation is that.
And the beauty of the way this is structured. I might have mentioned this on previous podcasts, but who listens to all my appearances? It's like, Slagle's on no laugh track. I'll wait till next week.
Yeah, we can remind them.
But it starts out on Tuesday, and you've got this many people that are familiar with the concept and know what's going and really enjoy it. And then on Saturday, you've got nobody. You've got bachelorette parties. You've got forced date nights. You've got nobody comes out for Crash and Burn on Saturday. And what happens is the people who didn't come out for it build, the amount of people that are there supporting it go down. So it forces you, the curve of your work, you have to keep getting better every night in order to entertain the audience that didn't come there to see you crash.
Yeah. And I know you're getting out of here, but I want to circle back to a question where you said, do you care where you go on the lineup? And then I just realized I'm going last on Friday Late Show. So, yes, I do care. I do.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I pulled the wrong sugar packet. I was pulling twos. I was pulling straight twos. And then I decided to go different. I was like, let me reach further. And I chased waterfalls. And then that's what I got. I got 3 on the late night date night. And I'm like, you know what? All right, I'll take it as as the next to you, the long tenure Acme dude saw back.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
I'll clean this one up, but
can't wait to come back and get an update on that.
Yeah, maybe hopefully all those couples will break up by the time, and then it'll just be a rowdy show.
One can only hope. Thank you guys. This has been great. People got to come out and see the shows. Obviously, that's what we've been talking about. Yep. See how things progress and see how things end up on these late shows, right?
Yeah. And just real quick, I just want to do. Can I do an exclusive?
Go
I
for
just
it.
want to say the album is going to drop, and it's going to be called "I'm Bo Burnham." So make sure that you guys go buy that one. I'm playing the algorithm game.
I like it. Hashtag Bo Burnham. I am Bo Burnham. Love it. Keep an eye out for that.
It's going to be a Bo with an E or with a W. Bo Burnham.
There you go. Bo with a W. Thank you, guys.